You're number one. You're number one. You're number one. Go winner. What is good? What is great? If no one's told you, you're doing an amazing job, and I'm so beyond proud of you. Thanks for coming to my website. I wanted to make a video today about why you should choose me as your career counselor. Like the text here says, I definitely didn't wake up one day and said, you know what? I want to be a job search consultant. I want to work with candidates. I want to be known as a career coach. Because I am only paid as a contingency recruiter, my bread and butter, my main passion, and the core pillar of my business, I have a deep insight into the game that we're playing. Whether that's leading the conversation, being more proactive, or what types of receipts that executives want to see and feel and read on their phone before they meet you in a pre-interview note, or the type of context or things that you can include in a post-interview follow-up. It seems simple because if you're watching this, you're most likely already in sales, you're already in business, and you understand some of the things. You've been a hiring manager, so you understand some of the things that are expected in sales or in an interview. But when it comes time for you to actually start building your own receipts and building your own case, sometimes people get a little bit paralyzed, or they just don't have the time, energy, and give the fucks to do that. So they want a safe space where we can sit down, we can brainstorm, we can build things out, and then we can deploy it. The ultimate goal is to not meet with you many times. If you were someone who I have a job for, then immediately the service will be 100% for free. We're talking about open jobs, current jobs, all of that. But that's not necessarily the reality of what I happen to have open with my employer clients and where people are with their search. So the ultimate goal is to not get you handcuffed into some long-term career counseling type of commitment. In fact, I really prefer to not do that. I am here to give you as much insight as you need over the first call. A lot of these things are on my website. So a lot of the things that we're going to go over is, how to set up your LinkedIn. Most companies, VCs, executives are relying on LinkedIn. So if you don't have, we're not finding you on the list if you're not hitting on step 1 and step 2 of our qualification. If you don't have numbers, metrics, activities written, if you don't have anything that potentially warrants, a bar raiser, like a piece of media or social proof or recommendation. So just using things like using product-based keywords, right? Go to your favorite company, look at the specialty keywords, copy and paste those, add SaaS and software, throw those in the bottom of your page on your skills. And already every time startups or companies that are sell a very similar type of product, a very similar type of solution, find you. So very simple things like how do you use product keywords to get people to even find you in the first place? What are the numbers that a VP of sales, a founder, CRO is going to want to know about your activity, about your conversions, how you made the money, saved the money, the type of energy expected with the verbs or the action items that you end up putting on your LinkedIn and on your resume. Things like how do you put your best foot forward when it comes to kind of getting your power back, and it's, instead of waiting for companies to ask you questions, how do you kind of position things that's not over speaking or overstepping? So you'll essentially get a crash course in how to set up your LinkedIn, how to write your resume. I'll give you access to as many resume templates as I have. If you want to suffer through and hurt your shoulder using some of these templates and frameworks and reverse engineering examples of how you write that, great. The only time that I'm going to write your resume is when you're like, what, Destiny, it's not worth it for me. It's not worth it. It's causing me too much stress. Can you help me out? So you'll get essentially access to all of those frameworks from a resume, from a LinkedIn checklist. How do recruiters and executives and hiring teams find you? How do they potentially disqualify you before you're even in front of them? Then you'll get all of my frameworks for running a prep. How do you answer the tell me about yourself pitch? What types of questions should you ask? What should you include in a pre-interview and a follow-up? Again, all things that are on my website on the resources page, but a lot of people just want to sit down, work through it, have the lines, get cross between what you've done, what's expected, what I'm saying, what you think. And in that case, sometimes people just need a little bit one-on-one support where we walk through it, we fact check it. And the ultimate goal is to get you within that first meeting with maybe a follow-up to feel proud of the receipts that you have. And now it's just a matter of having these inbound leads come through, running through your own discovery and vetting process. If at any point in our relationship after you meet, because once we do meet for the first time, you're going on my candidate list, so I'm keeping you in mind. There's never any guarantees. If you work with me as a career counselor, the stars are going to align, and the business who I happen to be engaging with or have engaged with is looking for someone with your skill sets. But regardless of if you're in sales, an executive. I work with a lot of CFOs, CMOs, people in the C-suite. At the end of the day, the process is all the same. You're trying to get in a room when there's a lot of transactional gatekeepers or recruiters. You need to be able to know how to access them or get them to reach out to you instead of you reaching out to them. You're going to need to know the types of questions and things to say to make that recruiter or that gatekeeper, make it easy for her to vet for you, right? And that's just simple preparation and post-interview follow-up or interview preparation things. And then the ultimate goal is to make sure that you have enough tools and insights that you can go to your final interviews and really defend and show them that you have the executive presence, that you're willing to do the most, all the things that are expected to get any job through any channel. So regardless of what your title is, the stages of companies, all of these things I think are 100% transferable to anyone. So hopefully you can learn a lot through the resources I have here. But again, we can sit down and we can talk and we can build these things out. And the goal is to let you fly off on your own as soon as possible, or get to a point where, everything looks good enough where I can start making contacts into my book of business, which again is no sort of guarantee, which is why the ideal candidate who goes from a career counselor to an actual placement with one of my B2B companies does fall within my ICP. But these are tools that every single person that I've done these career counseling calls with ultimately feels like they learn so much and they apply it. So the average person that I meet with gets so much that they're able to apply and build their own frameworks in that first meeting that we never need to meet again in a paid capacity, or worst case 3 or 4 or 5 sessions where we're actually building your receipts, building your stories, and just kind of helping the connections align just a little bit faster. One thing that I really try to push in a lot of these career counseling calls is, kind of teaching you how to have the things that you build be templated, right? So if you're going to write a tell me about yourself pitch, try to use that same framework over and over, or a pre-interview note. Like applying to jobs, it's really draining. It's time consuming. And so a lot of people treat every call like kind of a one-off, and you'll do a lot of special things for that. And really one of the biggest challenges, especially if you're wanting to invest in additional admin services through me, is how can we template this out? How can we do the work one time and send that out? One thing that you'll see if you go to the resources page all the way to the bottom is, how to kind of put your best foot forward by automating some of your job search, whether that's using a tool that you can pull contact data, start emails, and there's tons of examples there, and automate that process of even getting interviews to begin with. Or you can still take some of your receipts and things that I'm going to teach you and have you build and do a manual kind of outbound where essentially you apply to companies, add all the C-suite, pull their emails, and start an email using some of these templates. So the goal is to not, take this information or learn these things that can kind of be applied here or there, but instead build tools and scalable models that you can copy paste for hopefully the rest of your career. If there's any questions that you have for me, please just send me an email. My email and my phone number is everywhere. The more transparent you can be about your needs, maybe the more I can customize some sort of solution for you or build out free frameworks. Because if you're asking them, other people are asking them, please use every channel necessary to learn about some of these aspects, because I do talk about them through every channel. So hopefully with an opportunity for us to work one-on-one, and then all of the things that are out there, you can put your best foot forward and just make as much money as possible. If no one's told you, you're doing an amazing job, and I'm so beyond proud of you, don't forget to drink your water.